The National Electrical Code, or NEC, addresses specific requirements for electrical installations in various environments, including plenum-rated ceilings. Article 300.22c of the NEC stipulates that conductors used as grounding conductors must not be used as circuit conductors except as specifically permitted in 404.3g and 404.4g. Article 404.10b states that supplemental grounding conductors can be either bare or insulated, with their size determined by Table 250.122. A critical section, Article 300.22 lists the only conductor types permitted in plenums. These include type TC, IC, MI, or MC cable. Additionally, conductors of type AC, FEP, FAL, PFB, FAL, PFBH, TFE, TFA, XF, XLPE, or RHW are allowed, provided they have an insulation thickness of at least 0.20 inches. This means standard THHN conductors, without additional protection or specific plenum ratings, generally do not meet the requirements for open wiring in plenum spaces. However, there's an exception. Insulated green THHN conductors can be used as supplemental grounding conductors in a plenum if certain conditions are met. Firstly, they must be enclosed in a raceway, cable tray, or another approved enclosure. Secondly, they must be connected to a properly grounded bare grounding electrode or to a grounded metal enclosure containing the electrical equipment. If the green THHN conductors are not enclosed in a raceway or approved enclosure, and they are not connected to a grounded bare grounding electrode or a grounded metal enclosure containing the electrical equipment, then their use as open wiring in a plenum-rated ceiling is not permitted by the NEC. This is because the NEC prioritizes safety and fire resistance in plenum spaces, which are used for air circulation. Using non-compliant wiring can pose a fire hazard and compromise the integrity of the plenum system. Therefore, always ensure that any wiring within a plenum space adheres strictly to the NEC requirements to maintain electrical safety and code compliance. The NEC provides specific guidelines to ensure safety and prevent hazards related to electrical installations, especially in sensitive environments like plenums. Plenums are defined as spaces used for environmental air, and because they facilitate air circulation, any materials within them, including electrical wiring, must meet stringent fire resistance and smoke propagation standards. Let's delve deeper into the specific NEC articles that govern wiring installations in plenum spaces. Article 300.22 is a key section that addresses wiring methods and materials allowed in ducts, plenums, and other spaces used for environmental air. Subpart C of this article, specifically 300.22c, focuses on other spaces used for environmental air, and it has important implications for grounding conductors. As previously mentioned, grounding conductors should not be used as circuit conductors, barring the exceptions outlined in 404.3g and 404.4g. This is to ensure the integrity of the grounding system and prevent potential hazards arising from using grounding wires for unintended purposes. Article 404.10b, concerning switch connections, allows for supplemental grounding conductors to be either bare or insulated. This provides flexibility in design while ensuring that supplemental grounding is adequately addressed. The size of these conductors must comply with Table 250.122, which specifies the minimum size of equipment grounding conductors based on the rating of the overcurrent protective device in the circuit. The critical section that directly regulates conductor types in plenums is Article 300.22e. Specifically, 300.22s lists the permissible wiring methods and materials. Only certain types of cables and conductors are allowed to be installed in plenums without additional protection. These include type TC, IC, MI, and MC cables. These cable types are specifically designed and tested to meet the fire resistance and low smoke characteristics required for plenum spaces. Additionally, conductors of types AC, FEP, FAL, PFB, FAL, PFBH, TFE, TFA, XF, XLPE, or RHW are permitted, but with a critical condition. These conductors must have an insulation thickness of at least 0.20 inches. This requirement ensures that the insulation provides adequate fire resistance and reduces the risk of smoke propagation in the event of a fire. Standard THHN conductors typically do not meet this insulation thickness requirement on their own. Therefore, installing them as open wiring in a plenum ceiling would violate the NEC unless they are provided with additional protection or are part of an approved cable assembly. The NEC recognizes certain exceptions to these strict requirements. Insulated green THHN conductors can be used as supplemental grounding conductors in a plenum under specific conditions. These conditions are designed to provide an equivalent level of safety and fire protection. Firstly, the THHN conductors must be enclosed in a raceway, cable tray, or other approved enclosure. This enclosure serves as a physical barrier to protect the conductors from fire and mechanical damage, as well as to contain any smoke or fumes that might be produced in the event of a fault. Common raceway types include EMT, rigid metal conduit, and flexible metal conduit. Cable trays can also be used, provided they are approved for use in plenum spaces and are properly supported and grounded. Secondly, the THHN conductors must be connected to a properly grounded bare grounding electrode or to a grounded metal enclosure containing the electrical equipment. This ensures that the grounding system is effectively connected to earth, providing a low impedance path for fault currents and minimizing the risk of electric shock. A bare grounding electrode is typically a ground rod, ground plate, or other approved grounding electrode that is directly buried in the earth. A grounded metal enclosure is a metal enclosure that is properly bonded to the grounding system. If the THHN conductors are not installed according to these conditions, their use as open wiring in a plenum-rated ceiling is not permitted by the NEC. This is because without the additional protection of a raceway or enclosure, and without proper connection to a grounding electrode or enclosure, the conductors would pose an unacceptable risk of fire and electric shock. It is essential to always consult the latest edition of the NEC and to seek guidance from a qualified electrical inspector or engineer when designing and installing electrical systems in plenum spaces. The NEC is a complex document, and its requirements can vary depending on the specific application and local codes. Ignoring these requirements can lead to dangerous conditions, code violations, and potential liability. In summary, the NEC provides a comprehensive set of rules and guidelines for electrical installations in plenum spaces. These rules are designed to ensure safety, prevent fire hazards, and maintain the integrity of the building's environmental air system. By understanding and adhering to these requirements, electrical professionals can create safe and compliant installations that protect building occupants and property. Now let's consider the implications of these NEC requirements in a practical scenario. Suppose an existing facility has green THHN insulated grounding conductors installed as open wiring in a plenum-rated ceiling. These grounding conductors are being used as supplemental grounding to building steel. Based on the NEC requirements we've discussed, this installation would likely be considered non-compliant. The green THHN conductors are not enclosed in a raceway or approved enclosure, and it's not clear whether they are properly connected to a grounded bare grounding electrode or a grounded metal enclosure containing the electrical equipment. To rectify this situation, several corrective actions could be taken. Firstly, the THHN conductors could be removed and replaced with conductors that are specifically listed for use in plenums, such as type THHN, MI, or MC cable. Alternatively, the existing THHN conductors could be retained, but they would need to be installed in a raceway, cable tray, or other approved enclosure that is suitable for plenum use. Additionally, the conductors would need to be properly connected to a grounded bare grounding electrode or a grounded metal enclosure containing the electrical equipment. It's also important to verify that the size of the grounding conductors is in compliance with Table 250.122 of the NEC. Failure to comply with these requirements could result in code violations, fines, and potential safety hazards. It's crucial to consult with a qualified electrical inspector or engineer to determine the best course of action and to ensure that the installation is brought into compliance with the NEC. Furthermore, it's important to consider the long-term maintenance and inspection of electrical systems in plenum spaces. Regular inspections should be conducted to ensure that wiring and equipment are in good condition and that all connections are secure. Any damaged or deteriorated wiring should be promptly repaired or replaced. It's also important to verify that all raceways and enclosures are properly supported and grounded. By implementing a comprehensive maintenance and inspection program, building owners and facility managers can ensure the continued safety and reliability of electrical systems in plenum spaces. The NEC is not a static document. It is revised and updated every 3 years to reflect changes in technology, industry best practices, and safety standards. Therefore, it's essential for electrical professionals to stay up to date on the latest edition of the NEC and to be aware of any changes that may affect their work. Continuing education courses, industry publications, and professional organizations can be valuable resources for staying informed about the NEC and other relevant codes and standards. In conclusion, understanding and complying with the NEC requirements for electrical installations in plenum spaces is critical for ensuring safety, preventing fire hazards, and maintaining the integrity of building systems. By following the guidelines outlined in Article 300.22 and other relevant sections of the NEC, electrical professionals can create safe and compliant installations that protect building occupants and property. It's important to remember that the NEC is a complex document, and it's always best to consult with a qualified electrical inspector or engineer when designing and installing electrical systems in plenum spaces. They can provide valuable guidance and ensure that the installation meets all applicable codes and standards. By prioritizing safety and code compliance, we can create a safer and more reliable electrical environment for everyone. In addition to the specific NEC requirements for plenum spaces, it's also important to consider general electrical safety practices when working with electrical systems. Always energize circuits before working on them and use appropriate personal protective equipment such as gloves and safety glasses. Follow lockout/tag-up procedures to prevent accidental energization of circuits while they are being worked on. Be aware of the potential hazards of electricity, such as electric shock and arc flash, and take steps to mitigate these risks. Never work on electrical systems if you are not qualified or experienced to do so. Seek assistance from a qualified electrical professional if you are unsure about any aspect of the work. By following these basic electrical safety practices, you can significantly reduce the risk of accidents and injuries. Furthermore, it's important to promote a culture of safety in the workplace. Encourage employees to report any potential hazards or unsafe conditions. Provide regular safety training and education to ensure that everyone is aware of the risks and how to mitigate them. Lead by example and demonstrate a commitment to safety in all aspects of the work. By fostering a strong safety culture, we can create a safer and more productive work environment for everyone. In addition to the NEC and general electrical safety practices, it's also important to consider other relevant codes and standards such as those related to building construction, fire protection, and environmental regulations. These codes and standards may have additional requirements that apply to electrical installations in plenum spaces. For example, building codes may specify requirements for fire-rated walls and ceilings, which can affect the selection and installation of electrical wiring and equipment. Fire protection codes may specify requirements for fire suppression systems, which can also impact electrical installations. Environmental regulations may restrict the use of certain materials or require special handling of hazardous waste. It's important to be aware of all applicable codes and standards and to ensure that the electrical installation complies with all requirements. By taking a holistic approach to safety and code compliance, we can create a safer and more sustainable built environment. Finally, it's important to remember that electrical safety is an ongoing process. It requires constant vigilance, attention to detail, and a commitment to continuous improvement. By staying informed about the latest codes and standards, following best practices, and promoting a culture of safety, we can create a safer and more reliable electrical environment for everyone.